Your Daily 180, 180 seconds of pure Bible study.
We're in John chapter 4. We're about to meet the Samaritan woman by the well. Jesus, we see that he's come to the city in verse number 5 of Samaria, which is called Sychar, and he sits down beside a well, and we're going to find out in a little bit. It's Jacob's well. It's about the 6th hour. So it's about noon, okay? So let's pick up at verse number 7. A woman of Samaria came to draw water. Jesus said to her, "Give me a drink." For his disciples had gone away into the city to buy food. Then the woman of Samaria said to him, "How is it that you, being a Jew, ask a drink from me, a Samaritan woman? For Jews have no dealings with Samaritans." Now, what I want us to do is take just a little bit of time to think about the background of the Samaritan people. Because when we understand that, it makes this text really come to life. It's interesting. Remember back in John chapter 3, we said this was an interesting interview because you wouldn't expect someone from the religious elite to come to Jesus with a humble heart. Now you have someone from the exact opposite. She is an outsider. Nicodemus was a religious insider. She is a religious outsider. And yet there's a connection that's made. Well, if you look back at 1 Kings chapter 12, you find out that the Samaritan people came from a split in the kingdom, and Jeroboam is the king of the north. Originally, this is ordained by God, but Jeroboam didn't trust God, and he says, we got a problem. If the people from the north go home to worship God, they're going to miss everybody, and they're going to say, hey, let's reunite and everything. So what he does is he sets up high places, he sets up a priesthood, he sets up sacrifices, and this is an abomination to God. And they go through a succession of bad kings, not a single good king in the north. Eventually, they become so corrupt that God uses the Assyrians to come in, take them captive, and destroy the nation. But what happens in the process of that is now they intermarry with the Assyrians. The religion was already perverted. As the Jews would look at it, their race was perverted. These are worse than half-breed dogs. And so there is this tension that exists. And when we come back next week, we're going to look at this tension. This woman says, how is it that you, being a Jew and a man, ask me, a woman, for a drink of water? One of the great lessons for us is, as we go, carrying Jesus with us, the gospel is for everyone. Join us again next week.